What's up? Today we're going to go over one of the easiest and most powerful faith builds in the game. This is a lightning build. In this video we're going to cover the incantation side of things, detailing all of the damage modifiers. Lightning is unique in that there are very few enemies resistant and immune to this affinity type.
It has a special effect when cast on water, magnifying the damage further. Because of this, bosses that stand in water take extra damage, like the Elden Beast for example.
Additionally, we're going to be using one of the most powerful spells in the game, Ancient Dragon Lightning. With limited buffs, we were able to test out this damage on Grail. We found that each cast did about 30,000 damage,
netting around 114,000 damage in 15 seconds.
That is insane. But even without these buffs, your damage is devastating. The only downside to this spell is that it takes a second to charge, and it is only strong when fully charged, and it is tricky to land with smaller bosses. This main spell we're using is the Ancient Dragon Lightning, but all Dragon Cult spells are utilized. Let's talk seals. Early game, you'll be stacking Faith. In this scenario, you'll want to use the Erdtree Seal, which you can get early on, but it does require higher Faith just to hold. Late game, you want to cap your Faith and Intelligence for maximum damage and switch to using the Golden Order Seal. The scaling from this is higher once you've leveled up both stats. In your offhand, you have two options.
The Gravelstone Seal will buff all of your Dragon Cult spells by 15%.
However, offhanding the Jellyfish Shield and using the Contagious Fury will buff spells by 20%. But I understand if you don't want to run around with a Jellyfish Shield. I mean, look at it. Although you can get Jellyfish Shield right out the gate, it does require some strength and dex to use. For talismans, I use these. Or these if you're struggling to stay at full health. You're going to want to utilize the Lightning Crack tier
and the Cerulean Hidden tier for your physic.
I only use the Howl of Shibiri and my physic tier for offensive buffs, either Dragon Bolt Blessing or Vike's Dragon Bolt for defensive buffs. Your defensive buffs make you hardened, which applies the staggering effect on your enemies that hit you with pierce or slash melee attacks. There is no armor that buffs lightning spells, so use whatever you'd like. Since you're only holding seals, you have a lot of free weight to work with, but we won't be leveling our endurance until much later. If you're just starting off, I recommend the Confessor class, and your earliest access to lightning spells will be from killing a knight in Liurnia next to the Artist Shack for the spell tomb that gives you Lightning Spear and Hone Bolt. For your attributes, by level 60, they will look like this. From level 60 to 120, you'll notice the largest increase in damage and your stats will start looking like this. From here, we put everything into Intel, and by level 180, it should look like this. After this, you'll be maxing out your intel and then putting the stats wherever you like. I recommend mind and endurance, but you can also start putting them into dex for increased speed for casting. For large bosses, we stick to Ancient Dragon Lightning, and in some cases this wipes out some smaller bosses very quickly too if you're lucky enough. For agile bosses, we use Lightning Spear, and Honed Bolt makes invasions basically a joke. The other lightning spells are very useful, but we really only use them in open world situations. Our full incantation comparison guide is coming out soon, so if you'd like to see how they rank, make sure to subscribe. Thanks for watching, see you in the next one.